Good morning, everybody, my beloved YouTube friends. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Swedish vanilla square. Vanilla square is a very popular Swedish fika. So if you learn how to master this, it's really easy. You don't really need any skill at all. So what you do is just follow my instruction and I'm sure you will succeed in this recipe. So this recipe is pretty easy and the ingredients are pretty basic. So I'm just quickly run through what are the ingredients that we need. Here are about, let me see, 10 deciliter. In Sweden we use deciliter. So you have to use a conversion. I do not know how much is it in grams, but usually 1 deciliter for plain flour is about 70 grams of plain flour. So if you need 10 deciliter, it means about 700 grams of plain flour. So this is approximately 700 grams of plain flour. So we are going to be making the dough first. So the dough is plain flour, sugar, baking powder and vanilla sugar, and also some butter. Easy, right? Not so difficult. And then later we are going to make something in between. As you can see from the picture and the thumbnail, there are something that is a bit sticky in the center. So I'm going to show you how to make this sticky stuff in between these two pastry. And again, it's really easy. It's eggs. And this is Kesella. I think most of the shopping center or supermarket, they should have this. Otherwise, I think it is okay. If you want to use some soft cheese also, I think Philadelphia should work too. And then we have something like what we call that in Swedish, creme fraiche, cream fresh in English. So you can also buy this in the supermarket. So I have used everything lactose free because I notice a lot of people are having problem, especially being an Asian. I'm not used to eating lactose product like dairy product. I'll get very pain on my stomach. So I'm going to try to do a lactose free pastry today. And with that, you have some vanilla sugar. It's about 1 tablespoon of vanilla sugar and also about 3 deciliter of sugar. That's it. So we're going to mix everything up and make them into like a creamy sauce, and we're going to pour it in the middle of the pastry. So let's get started. First, let me just mix the flour. I usually like to mix all the dry ingredients first. So the baking powder and the vanilla powder in, and then followed by the sugar. So just give this a mix. As you can see, guys, it's blowing outside. I'm gonna show you how it looks like. It's quite blowing today, so it's nice to be indoor. And today I am actually working now, but I actually can work from home. So my job allows me to work from home, and it's very flexible. So I decide how I want it to be done as long as the job is to be done. So I think they're really happy. So mix this well, and we're going to pour everything into the mixture. So I'm going to pour the butter. Usually I like to put the butter first. Let me just put this away. If I can get a bigger scoop. Yep, this is perfect. I usually like to use a bigger one. So I'm going to scoop this and I'm going to put them on top of this mix. We call it matarbeter mixer or food processor in English terms. So I'm going to just use half first because I'm going to put the butter in. I want this to be half first because this thing obviously is not that big. So it's better not to put everything in first. And I'm gonna put my butter. I hope you guys can see though. Okay. If you are new to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing. I do live streaming. In fact, I did quite a lot of live streaming earlier on. I stopped because we didn't have a proper kitchen. Now that we have our kitchen all done, so it means that there are more opportunity for making live video. So the purpose of live video is to interact with my audience, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And also I love to hear from you guys in the comment section. What do you think of my recipes? Sometimes I get really nice comment, like people who were inspired by me. Like yesterday I get a very nice comment from somebody who said that she has been watching my video for the past 4 years and she really enjoyed. She finds that I'm her inspiration. So it really flatters me. So now I'm going to on this one. So it's going to sound a little bit, right? So put on your ear plug. You see what I mean? If you put too much at one time, this thing won't work because this is too small. At my job, we have a bigger machine. That's why I have to take this out again so that it mixes properly. So I'm going to put this back and I'm going to start again. You can see it's the pastry is coming together, so I'm going to try put everything in. Hopefully this time it will not get stuck. I think it will get stuck because it's quite a lot. I'm just going to try my luck. Yeah. So I'm gonna say cross the finger, right? I have a feeling that it won't work, but we'll see. Okay, that's why my boss buy me a bigger machine. You see, the flies mixed already. So I'm gonna try again pressing the limits on, all right, about this machine. So I'm just gonna add one more of this flour in and press the limits. Just a bit more. I don't want to mix with hand because I hate having butter on my hand. Okay lah, it should work lah. Okay, so I'm going to try and add another limit, pressing to the limit. Let's see if this works, all right? So that Let's go away. And look at the view instead. I have to confess, guys, that I have issue with my hearing problem. I have some hearing problems. When it's too noisy, I don't feel well when I'm hearing sound from machine, especially machine. So I try to avoid it if possible. When I'm baking, I used to wear a ear plug. Maybe I should, because this machine is not that good. So if you too have the same problem like me, try and use a ear plug. I'm going to put this aside because I'm going to make another time, because I'm baking for 60 people. That's for a funeral event. So I'm going to lift this. And I'm going to pour this whole thing in here. All right. And I think I cannot avoid using my hand. It's still workable, but it's really, this machine is really too small to make this recipe. So if you have a bigger machine, you can use a bigger machine. You can still test limit like me. I'm using a household size machine. So it seems like I can just use my hand. Now, let me just put the pastry aside. And you're going to be baking this in 200 degrees Celsius. But before I do this, we're going to put everything together. Let's come to the table. So before we do that, I'm going to show you how we mix this, the center layer, you know, the sticky layer. Oh, we'll do. You need eggs. The recipes call for 4 eggs, and don't worry, I'm going to put up the description, the recipes in the video description, so you have it. The recipe called for 4 eggs, but because all my eggs are very kecil, very small, so I decided to use 1 extra egg. So if you have the same problem as me, use 5 eggs instead of 4 eggs. Oops. Oops. I think I got an eggshell. Okay. Now I'm going to need a whisk. Let's see if I can find one here. That's too big. This could be good. So I'm just going to beat the egg. And then I'm going to add the sugar, followed by the vanilla powder. If you don't have vanilla powder, you can use a vanilla essence. And of course, if you don't want too sweet, you can always put a little bit lesser. Just mix this. I saw something black. I think it's from the egg. Did you see anything black just now? Okay. So now the Kesella. Oh, I saw the black color stuff. I don't know what is that. I think it's probably from the egg. Okay, I'm going to try to pick this up. I'm going to see what is that. It's probably from the egg. I don't know what is that. Okay. And then mix this again. The Kesella that I bought is with the flavors, strawberries flavors. So if you don't like flavors, you can buy the normal one without flavors. I just want to try something new, so that's why I buy it. Okay, now you can see the mixture is well mixed. And then followed by the creme fraiche. Let's mix half first. Maybe this bowl is a bit too small. Okay, still okay. About 5 liters, that's about half a liter of creme fraiche. The portion that I'm making is for 42 people. So I'm doubling this because I always like to make a lot. At my job, we always have funerals, sometimes meetings from different organizations. So what they do is they order a package, like a fika package. So we provide them to hold their event at our historical house, whereby we collect the rentals and also sell them the fika. So my job is to prepare the fika and take care of the premise. So this is done. To me, I personally feel like creme fraiche, the consistency is very watery. Yeah, so but for me, I personally feel like we should use Philadelphia, but let's see. This is the first time I ever done this recipe, but I have tasted this fika before and I really like it. I have my glove on because I'm going to set myself to work. So I'm going to put this here, everything here. I need this later on for another time. So I'm going to put half of this pastry, but before that, as you guys can see, it's not really evenly mixed, so I'm gonna mix with my hand. I feel that the pastry is really, really soft. Not the kind of crumbs consistence that I'm looking for. And you know, sometimes I notice different flour of different brand, you really have to feel it. Certain brand is drier. This brand that I'm using is much less dry. So for me, if the consistency is like this, it's really far too buttery. So what I want to do is just add a little bit more flour. So I'm going to get rid of my glove because I'm going to get my flour. Come over here. I'm going to add more flour. Really, you have to feel it. Sometimes the recipe, they never say what kind of flour, which brand of flour. So you have to really use your common sense to feel it. So I really feel like this doesn't give me the crumbs effect. So I'm going to add about 1 more deciliter of flour, or and half, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. I still feel like it's too much soft. I still feel it's a bit too soft. I'm going to add just 1 more, right? Hey guys, welcome to my live streaming. Okay, now it's much better. You see, you can feel that it's a crumbs. Not so dry, and of course not so wet too. Okay, now I'm going to transfer half of the flour into this. Is a 30 by 40 centimeters wide length baking foam. So I'm going to use about half of this pastry, and I'm just going to just put them evenly. Let me just remove my telephone. I'm going to try and put this evenly. This is a very good recipe if you are making a lot for a lot of people, because if you're going to buy everything, the quantity that you require, it's going to be really expensive because you're going to have a lot of wastage. So this recipe is kind of good because the portion is right, and the best thing is that you can actually freeze it. It's perfect for freezing. It's actually very nice when you freeze these cakes. And when you take them out to defrost, it took just 15, 10, 20 minutes to defrost. So I'm going to just press this gently. And as you can see, certain part is not enough, yeah? So you just fill up the hole. So perfect for big party, and then you can make this in advance. What I like to do with this is that if I'm having a wedding or a like a housewarming gift, I would give this, because you can make them and then you cut them into cubes, and you can actually put them in the little boxes as a gift. And you can cut according to the size that you want. People who are a bit stingy, you can cut smaller. You know, big piece, of course, you cut big lah. You know, if you are generous. But I think in Sweden, people, when you go for fika, people always give you small pieces cookies, like one cookie, one of this kind of cookie, and one bread. Usually you get that kind of fika when you visit somebody. It's always at least 2 different types of fika you get. So what you can do is you cut them into really tiny, like 3 or 4 by 4 or 5 by 5, and you can get a lot out from this, and then put them in boxes and freeze them. And the children, they like it. I can guarantee you, all the children, they love this. It's not only good for, not say that it's good, but it's not only that the adult like it, but also the children of all ages, teenager especially, they like this too. So guys, what you need to do now is to feel it, yeah? To feel it, because you can feel like certain part is a bit thicker and certain part is not that thick. So, like this one, this corner here, feel it's a bit too thin, just patch up. Okay? And then, what I like to do is that I like to use this one to even up the side. The edges is not that pretty, yeah? So you just need to push this down like that. See? Can you see? So the edges is not like very uneven, and it looks nicer too when you cut them. Okay, I think this place is a bit flat. I'm gonna add more. And if you can't feel it, use your eyes to see it. Okay, now this is done. Right, the next step, I think I'm going to add more flour, because this is not a very crumbs texture. Just add a little bit more to make it even more crumpy. So it's easier for me to spread this on the mixture. And remember, okay, on the oven before. I don't know how many of you have done this. You prepare everything, especially if you make sponge cake. And then sponge cake, the timing is very important, right? So you turn your back and then you realize you've forgotten to on the oven. And then you have to be really fast, because especially sponge cake, it will just flatten. Okay, I think I'm quite satisfied with the consistency now. Okay. So now, here comes the part where you want to pour everything in to the bowl. To this one. Okay, and then just tilt this a little bit. Right, make sure the surface are even. And now you understand why I have to put more flour into making this more crumbly, because you want to just pour them on top. Sorry for the angle. Let me just see if I can give you guys a better angle. Okay. Okay. More here at the corner. Seems like it's a storm outside now. Okay, I'm gonna just put this on the side. The side, really important. As you can see, everything is covered with the crumbs. Voila. So, done. I'm gonna remove my cloth. Then I'm gonna put this. See? I'm gonna put this into the oven. On the oven to 200 degrees. And you're gonna make this for, if I'm not wrong, let me just see the recipe, for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Này. This is 1 minute. Oh God, is this 2 minutes? No, can't be. Okay, I'm not gonna do this. I think it's really confusing. I'm not used to this yet. So I'm just going to just put the temperature. Okay, 200 degrees. Put your timer on your telephone to 30 minutes. And I'm going to open this. Hot. And then I'm going to make this. Put this in. Okay, this is my batch number 1. Okay. Batch number 1 is done. So this, in 30 minutes, I'm going to come back and take it out. And then I'm going to let it cool down before I cut them. You don't cut them when it is hot, because when it is hot, the chances that it will break. So make sure you cool this down, if preferably longer time. And then just use a knife to cut at the side, the first layer first, and see how the condition is like. Right? Important. Cool down. If it's possible, I was thinking maybe I should put it outdoor in the our giant fridge outside. It's a lot of snow, as you can see. The cats has been here walking. And yeah, I think I'll probably put it outside so it cool down earlier. So I'm gonna get back to you. I'm gonna be doing another patch, but I think I'll do it on Facebook because I think I have people from there. I'm gonna show them on Facebook too. Uh, Thank you guys for watching. Do join me again on my next live streaming later on. I'm going to, when this is all done, I'm going to cut it and I'm going to invite you to join in. All right, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that because when you do that and when you put the bell notification on, you will get a notified from YouTube. There is a signal. It means that ST is online. That's why it's really important to have the bell beside the subscribe button on, so you won't miss my upcoming next video. All right, see you guys. Bye bye.